On to our fifth and final story of the program. Greek Prime Minister Alexis Tsipras has announced a referendum on a proposed bailout accord with international creditors. The call was made a few hours after an emergency cabinet meeting. Greek voters will go to polls on July the 5th to decide whether Athens should accept an economic reform package proposed by the creditors. Earlier, Finance Minister Yanis Varoufakis said that Greece and its international creditors had a duty to reach an agreement during key talks scheduled for Saturday. Meantime, Greek people have lined up in front of cash machines to pull out their money from banks following the president's call for a referendum. Greece has rejected a reform package by the European Union and the International Monetary Fund, saying the loans are totally inadequate. The country risks an economic meltdown without new loans and a bailout extension. Our correspondent Konstantin Venizelos joins us now from the Greek capital, Athens, to walk us through how the situation could transpire for Greeks.
Good afternoon, Badia. Well, there is some nervousness. Some nervous Greeks indeed have resorted to withdrawing their cash from ATM machines in fear of capital controls being imposed on Greek banks as early as Monday or Tuesday, which is why Panos Kamenos, leader of Independent Greeks and Tsipras' junior coalition partner, is urging Greeks to not panic. Of course, there is panic. There is panic here, and there is panic in Brussels also. We know that this morning Greek officials in Brussels will be asking the ECB's chief, Mario Draghi, for a one-week extension of banking support for Greece's banking sector. We don't know if this will be granted. We know that ECB officials will today be working in conjunction with Eurozone finance ministers to try and formulate an official response to Tsipras' stunning decision to hold a referendum on July the 5th. Some corridor whispering that we've heard tells us that Germany is preparing to pull out the offer towards Greece, which to us seems like a reasonable diplomatic way to undermine the referendum. If Germany pulls out the offer, then there is no question of a referendum, is there? However, we don't believe that European officials will be resorting to aggressive diplomacy against Greece at the moment, Badia, because they are very well aware that if next week aggressive diplomacy is pursued against Tsipras and his government, this will inadvertently push Greeks into a no vote. And given the Prime Minister's tone last night during his televised address, calling this offer by the creditors as endless, humiliating austerity, there is already an initiative to propel Greeks into a no vote anyway. And a public opinion poll is also important, published here today, which tells us that 53% of Greeks are ready for a Grexit. Of course, Brexit is the neologism, which of course means Greece exiting the Eurozone. So we need to see how today's events unfold in Brussels, Badia. We need to see what the official response to Greece's decision will be. The Eurogroup will occur as scheduled later this afternoon, and we need to see whether the offer will be pulled off the table. Indeed. or they will agree to Tsipras' offer, which still stands for an €8 billion worth or package worth of reforms.
Thank you very much for the update, Konstantin. That was Konstantin Venizelos, our Athens correspondent, joining us here on Press TV's Top 5.